Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, welcome to another adventure. Well, less of an adventure, more of a let's go to work kind of day. The wife and I have been carpooling the last few days, but my kid had to be at a junior beta club meeting bright and early this morning, so took him. I got up a little bit later, took him, and now we're headed on in to do some business. Anyways, so I figured what I'll do is I got this neat little phone holder at the 5 and Under store this past weekend. So it's pretty neat. It just sits and it has like a hair clamp, basically is what it is, and it just clamps your phone like that. So I figured, you know what, let's put this sucker to work. Let's see how well it does, and we'll look at the video and see if the image stabilization keeps you guys stable enough that you don't get seasick while watching the video. So hopefully it works out. If I review the video and it looks weird, then I'll probably figure a way how to stabilize it, because it's not a very elaborate piece of plastic. You know, it's pretty somewhat flimsy. 5 and Under, I got it for like $5. So anyways, I figure what better way to put it to use than in a car ride review. So let's review. What did I watch this weekend? We did pick up the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, however you say it, tomato. And I enjoyed the movie. It was as good as the other ones, maybe not as good as the first. I will say that it would have been an okay movie even without Jack Sparrow's character. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Jack Sparrow's character. I love what Johnny Depp has done with the character and how he celebrates that character. The movie could have done without all the older characters, you know, Barbossa and Jack. But I get it, you needed him for the story. They did a lovely job making a young Jack Sparrow. I like how they told the story of how he got some of his trinkets that he wears, his hat and his sword and stuff like that. That was super awesome. And then, you know, they did leave it open to do another one. Whether or not they go back and do it, I guess, will be what the responses on this one were. You know, did this one make enough money to merit going back and doing another one? But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Let's see. You know, it played on the common, like, women are witches tropes, and you know, all in all, it was a good movie. It had a few funny spots in it. The fight sequences were okay. Now, the thing is the enemy they were against was a lot more powerful this time, and on top of that, they managed to escape, you know, the ghost Salazar and his undead crew, even though it didn't really seem feasible, you know. So they kind of pushed the shelf as far as like, oh yeah, they got away by the skin on their teeth, you know. And that was a little, I was kind of like in a couple spots, I was kind of like, well, technically they probably should have just died right there. You know, the movie should have ended there, but whatever, you know, it was still an enjoyable movie. The plot was good, you know, where it started and what story they were trying to tell. But beyond that, I mean, it was just an enjoyable movie. We ended up buying it because my wife is a huge fan of that entire series, so she wanted it for her collection, and I don't necessarily, I would say rent it on Red box first before you go out and purchase the movie itself, just to make sure that it's something you will find worth the money. So that's my opinion of the newest Pirates of the Caribbean movie. What else did we see? I swear I saw something else. Oh, I did see the most recent Transformer movie. Standard Michael Bay, big robots, can't really tell who's who, let's blow things up. The overall arcing story across all the Transformer movies, the plot points have been really good. Sometimes they don't necessarily come to fruition properly in some of the movies, or they overplay certain attributes of some of the Transformers. But all in all, the entire Transformers series has been okay. It hasn't been amazing, it hasn't been stellar, they've just been okay. But I get it, there's a story they want to tell with them, and they've got the money to do it, and people keep going back and seeing them, especially kids. My kids loved it, my son, you gotta think these movies started coming out when my son was real young, and he's always been, because of these movies, a Transformer fan. These movies made him a Transformer fan. He loves Bumblebee. He loves the whole franchise. He's loved every one of them. So for the younger audience, they are amazing movies because visually they're gorgeous. The Transformers, the giant robots look amazing. Whether or not it's what we remember from when we were kids or anything like that, that's neither here nor there when you're in the business of making cash. I guess it falls back to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's the same thing. They're making money, so people have to love them. Somebody's got to love them. And like I said, the overall story arc of the Transformers has been good. Some of the characters are hit or miss within them, mostly the human characters. So I think maybe if these movies had less real people in them, they may have been okay. I don't know, but I don't like the fact that it's hard sometimes to tell who's an Autobot and who's a Decepticon. The main villain in this one, she's got tentacles, so that was pretty easy to pick out. But I did like the mesh up of the King Arthur story with this one, so that was pretty neat. I enjoyed that part of it. I'm a bit of a history buff. I like a lot of history stuff, and especially when it comes to like knights and the Round Table and that whole chivalry, valor stuff. I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed how they kind of mingled that in and how they kind of explained Merlin's magic and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. I did enjoy that part of it. And like I said, visually it was a beautiful movie. Overall story arc across all the movies has been good. Each movie had a good story individually. I think a lot of it is just not being able to flush out some of the characters. Like, yeah, we get Prime, we get Bumblebee's character, and holy cow, who's the head Decepticon? It was right here, and then it went here, and then it went oh my goodness. Optimus? Blech. Optimus? Blech. That's gonna drive me nuts for the rest of the day. If I wasn't filming on my phone, oh man. Anyways, I don't know. If you know it, leave in the comments. I won't even look it up. I'll wait for somebody to tell me who it is. Or I'll remember it, at the most inopportune time today. Probably mid-work day when I'm knee-deep in something. And I'll be like, oh, it's blah, 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 blah. and like it's like running around in my brain, like bouncing. I'm bouncing names, and I'm like, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. I hate myself for that. Anyways, I think that's the only other thing I've seen recently. Kristen and I have been watching that show, The Good Doctor. It's about a young autistic boy who is studying to become a doctor, and this hospital takes him on. So far, it's been pretty good. I'd have to say, when it comes to portraying an autistic character, the guy does an okay job. However, if you haven't seen the show on Netflix, it's a Netflix original called Atypical, I think they do a much better job. You get a little more insight into the actual character who has autism, and I think Atypical is so far has done a better job than The Good Doctor is doing. I get what The Good Doctor is trying to do, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm only on the 3rd episode. We've only had 3 episodes so far. I'm sure I'll finish out the season just to see where it goes. I'm just not so sure if they're doing, I don't know if they're doing a good enough job with it. You know, with Atypical, you hear a lot more from the young guy's point of view who has autism. He's like a high-functioning autistic in Atypical, and he's high-functioning autistic in The Good Doctor. But I don't know. I kind of, so far, like I said, so far I've enjoyed Atypical a little bit better, and that's a Netflix original series, and they tend to be really good with their series. So maybe I'm being a little biased when it comes to some of Netflix stuff. But I would say give The Good Doctor, give it a try. If you like doctor shows, this one's got a little bit of a different spin to it, because, you've got this young guy who's a high-functioning autistic, and the hospital takes him on as a surgeon. So I guess that's the little tweak about it. I'm kind of hoping we'll see a little bit more of a little bit more insight into the way autism affects people and stuff like that. Hopefully the writers have somebody who is high functioning autistic, they're helping them kind of write this show and kind of explain the emotions and the feelings. I kind of feel like maybe Netflix did that with Atypical. But anyways, yeah, pretty sure that's it. That's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another car ride review. You got 3 in this one. We talked about Pirates of the Caribbean. We talked about Transformers Knights of the Fallen, I think it was called, and The Good Doctor. Actually 4. And we talked about Atypical, because Atypical is another show that we binge watched that one and finished it. It was good though. I enjoyed that one. Waiting for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to start, and Arrow to start, and Supergirl to start, and Flash to start, and Riverdale. My wife and I binge watched Riverdale on Netflix. It was okay. It's just some shows I'll watch with her just so we have stuff to watch together and talk about. I'm gonna try season 2 to see if it changes, but Riverdale should start soon, or has already started. We just haven't caught that first episode yet. The big ones I'm waiting for is Arrow, Supergirl, and Flash, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Those are my shows. Those are the ones I really like. But anyways, I hope you ladies and gentlemen have really enjoyed this one. Boys and girls, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, tell me about some shows I should check out, tell me what you thought of the shows and the movies that I've talked about. I love hearing from you. It makes this so much more, it makes it so much more fun to actually talk to people who view the videos, because it brings a little bit of closeness between me and the viewers, and so it's fun. I really enjoy reading comments and responding to comments. So hey, we're up to 28 subscribers right now. That was amazing. I just looked at it last night. I was blown away. How cool is that? We're on our way. We're doing pretty good. I thought that was super cool. Thank you for everybody that subscribed, and if you shared the video with friends and they've subscribed, welcome to this adventure that I call life. Ladies and gentlemen, I love ya. Till tomorrow.